it says, okay, Sulekha is there, Vaishana Mataji there, Sitapa is there. And let me start sharing the screen and we'll commence after these short prayers to the Spiritual Master. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Okay, welcome dear devotees to our class on reciting from Srimad Bhagavad-gita. Let's see, Dandavat Pranam, Sarshana Mataji. Okay, so we had Aruni Mataji today. How are you all doing?
Good, Mataji.
Good.
With God's grace.
God's grace, that's very important part. Yeah, without God's grace, not a blade of the grass moves. Yeah. Varshana. Okay. So, so in the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita, when Krishna was scolding Arjuna because he was crying, and he said, don't be a fool, don't be an impotent, go ahead and, Tabyam masma gama partha na etat tvai prapadyate shudram hridaya dvaurpalyam tyaktutishta parantapa. So he says that. So after taking that beating, Arjun comes back again and he says, kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana. Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana. Arjun uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana. Arjun uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana. Synonyms. Arjun uvāca means, by now you should know. Arjun uvāca means what?
Arjuna said.
Arjuna said. Kathaṁ. How? Bhīṣmam. Bhīṣma. Ahaṁ, I. Saṅkhye, in the fight. So on Friday we talked about Saṅkhya and Saṅkhye. Saṅkhya. So notice the difference between the two, right? Saṅkhya means fight and Saṅkhya is the yoga. Droṇa. So Bhīṣma and Droṇa. Cha, also. Madhusūdana, O killer of Madhu. Iṣubhiḥ, with arrows. Right? So we had talked about shar and chap, right? Last time, right? Sasharam chapam shoka sanvigna manasaha. In the last chapter, we had talked about that, shar and chap. And we said one is the bow and one is the arrow. And I had told you a nice way of how to remember that what is bow and what is arrow. So do you remember? Between the shar and chap, which is the bow and which is the arrow? Shar and chap. And what is the way to remember that? Everything went overhead.
Yeah, completely.
Sure, I said, go ahead.
No, I said it's completely gone out of
It's gone? Okay. I had said that Bhīṣma Pitamaha was lying on the
Arrows.
Sharshaya, right? Yeah, Sharshaya. So Shar means
Arrows.
arrows and chap means
Bow.
the bow, right? So in English language, we say shar chap udhar. In English language, we say bow and arrow. And in Sanskrit, we say arrow and bow. Shar chap. Right? Shar and chap.
Oh.
And then here, iṣubhiḥ. Right? So, arrows. Pratiyotsyāmi, shall counter attack. Pratiyotsyāmi, shall counter attack. Pūjārhāv. those who are worshipable. So puja, and then those who have the, what is that called? That English word is escaping me. Worthy, those who are worthy of being worshipable. Those who have the worthiness to be worshipped by others. So pūjārhāv, those who are worshipable. Ari-sūdana. Ari means?
Enemy.
Enemy. Ari means enemy, and then Sūdana, right? So people put name like Ari. What's your name? Ari. Remember, Ari and Ari are different. They make a very, very different meaning. Ari-sūdana, right? So he uses different words for, madhusūdana, ari-sūdana, right? Sūdana means to kill, right? Sūdan means to kill. So killer of Madhu and killer of enemies. He's addressing Krishna by these two words, right? And look at the contrast here in this verse that he's saying that how can I kill Bhīṣma and kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye? How can I kill droṇaṁ cha? How can I kill Bhīṣma and Droṇa? In this arrow, and he's addressing Krishna as, oh, killer of the enemies and killer of the Madhu demon. So he's saying that, Krishna, you also kill, but before you tell me that to go ahead and kill, and you're telling me to kill, but you remember, Krishna, you just go and kill the demons and you kill your enemies, but these are not my enemies. These are my relatives. So you see what a nice choice of name Arjuna has used here to say ari-sūdana and madhusūdana, right? In contrast, you are asking me to do droṇaṁ and become a bhīṣma, which ultimately he did become, right? But then he changed his consciousness. By that time, he did it. So looking at translation, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counteract with arrows in battle men like Bhīṣma and Droṇa who are worthy of my worship? Arjuna uvāca, Arjuna uvāca, kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi, not saya, it is sya, me pūjārhāv ari-sūdana. Ari-sūdana. Okay, so we'll start with Aruni Mataji.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari. Can I just say ari? Pūjārhāv ari.
But it is two.
Huh?
It is two. Ari. It's two syllables, yeah. Ari. Sūdana. Okay, good. Sutapa Mataji.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam.
Bhi. So there's
Yes,
Bhi, which
Bhi.
is Balak, and then there is Bha, which is Bhalu.
Yes,
right?
bhīṣmam. Yeah.
Bhīṣmam, yeah.
Ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ.
Kha for Khargosh.
Yeah. Saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Okay. So Lekha Mataji.
Kathaṁ, Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha
Dhruv, what is that? What is the first word in that sentence?
Dhruv
After that?
nam.
Yeah, droṇaṁ and not droṇaha. Okay. Yeah, droṇaṁ.
Cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Yeah, pūjārhāv ari-sūdana. Oh, very good. Meera Mataji.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Ari-sūdana, right? So, iṣubhiḥ. Okay. Varshana Mataji. Very
Yes.
nice.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye
No, not
droṇaṁ
khaye, not khaye.
saṅkhye.
Why are you saying khaye? Where is the A here in the last word, last syllable?
Saṅkhye.
Saṅkhye. Saṅkhye.
Saṅkhye.
Yeah. The difference, right?
Saṅkhye.
You say Sankhya. Do you say word Sankhya?
Saṅkhya is different. Saṅkhye.
Yeah, Sankhya is different, and then this is Sankhya. It is not Sankhaye.
Okay.
Yeah, Khe.
Saṅkhye.
Sankhe. Khe. See, you see
Sankhe.
Mada Kha and yeah, Khe.
Ka and yeah, kai.
Khe.
Saṅkhye.
Now you got it.
droṇaṁ
cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Now, right? So one thing I wanted to point out, and that is that there's an I here in the beginning, there's an I here in the end. And also when we are talking about diacritics, like, I with a dot and I without a dot, without a bar, E, and similarly A with a bar and A without a bar. So the question is, how do I distinguish between the two, right? So all that you have to remember, keep in mind is uniformity. Uniformity is that, you might put a little pressure more than anybody else on when you pronounce the simple A over here, and it's okay. As long as you maintain uniformity, which is that if a without a bar is pronounced by you in a certain way, you should do that the same way everywhere else, right? And then, of course, A with a bar will have a little bit more emphasis than what you do, right? Somebody else might put a little extra. There might be little differences, small distances, but you have to maintain the uniformity, right? So, iṣubhiḥ, pratiyotsyāmi. So, it's I. And then when you are pronouncing it, sometimes, towards the end, especially because we are coming from a Hindi background, we tend not to. We have fewer words which have a small I, like a lower I, or a small E in the end. Usually they have an E, right? Ladki, kakdi, like that, right? But usually with a smaller I, it's little, less common. So we have that thing in our heads. But as long as you maintain the balance in your pronunciation, that should be right. Okay. So how was today's verse? Was it a difficult one?
No, Mataji.
I think after breaking down, it was okay.
easy.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So do you want to try the full one or you want to go one by one?
Yeah, the full one.
You ready?
Mataji, one more time.
One more time?
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, go ahead then. Arjuna, one more time we'll do.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Ari-sūdana. So here again, watch the BH, bhalu, bhish, right? And you did pronounce it correct here, droṇaṁ, but I didn't see anybody else do it properly. Droṇaṁ. It is not N, it is ana.
Yeah.
There is the N is this one, na, and this is ana, veena, Krishna, that one, droṇaṁ, right? Say, everybody say droṇaṁ.
droṇaṁ.
Droṇaṁ, right? So droṇaṁ. When you break it down, it becomes a little bit difficult to start a word with ana syllable, but that's fine. As when you combine it, remember it has got to be droṇaṁ. Okay. All right. So Sutapa.
Yes, Mataji. Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Okay. Salika.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Droṇaṁ. Say droṇaṁ.
Droṇaṁ.
You got it. Okay. Meera.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Okay. Varshanti.
Yeah, yes, Madhu. Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Ari-sūdana. Remember, same emphasis on all the eyes, lowercase eyes, lower eyes here. Okay. So, what is the word for arrows?
Shar.
From today's verse.
Iṣubhiḥ.
Iṣubhiḥ. Yeah. Iṣubhiḥ. So you see, when you are pronouncing the verses, then also keep the meaning in your mind. That way, when you are pronouncing the words, you will not pronounce it. You'll pronounce it with the understanding. And when you understand the meanings, then the verse is going to stay with you forever, because you understand the meaning. And as you delve a little bit more with the Sanskrit, you start knowing the different words. Now, one of the things is that when kids go to school, or at least when I went to school, then at that time, in nursery, like, you're 3 years old and you have no idea about language, especially, I grew up in a Hindi-speaking family, so I had no idea about the English language, right? And the teacher will go there and then she'll start, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, right? And of course, I didn't understand that, but there's something known as rhythm and rhyme. And so, but you memorize that 6 weeks into, or 6 months into the school, you have quite a few nursery rhymes memorized. So how does a child remember that, right? By rote, by repetition. So there is something known as muscle memory, and every muscle in your body has got a memory. And so when you pronounce these words even once, a shloka, even once you pronounce it, then that impression is going there in your consciousness, in your memory, and so now you can see the memory is not just one place in the heart, the memory is all over the body, because the muscles also have got memory, right? And sometimes you might have noticed that when you're cooking the food, you don't even know, without even putting any attention to it, the hand automatically goes there and picks up things and starts doing it, even with all your outside, because my muscle memory is there, like that. So, and that is how you learn how to do the typing. right? When you go to the typewriter, which is so different from A, B, C, D, that letters are laid out very differently. And you just keep on practicing. So here also in the verses, if you practice it, and then if you practice it with keeping the meaning in the mind, then it'll stick longer, right? And it'll come back, and you'll be very surprised that, next time you go to any class and somebody else is doing this particular verse, you'll find yourself that in your mind, you are completing the verse. How come you are completing the verse in your mind? Although you did not sit down and consciously memorize it, or you might say, I don't even know the whole verse, right? But at least the last word or the first word of a sentence, or maybe, iṣubhiḥ. The person says ishu and you say bhi because you did that. And here in this class, you do it at least 5 times you're doing it, right? So the more you add the meaning to your mind when you're reading it, the more it'll do, right? It's counterattack. Sanskrit.
Pratiyotsyāmi.
Pratiyotsyāmi sounds like such a nice word, right? Pratiyotsyāmi, you might name a daughter. Pratiyotsyāmi, but that's not what it is.
Like
Counterattack.
the other one, collectionam. Collectionam sounds nice, but what was it? It was actually, what was it again?
Collectionam, eyes filled with tears. Ashnupurna collection is eyes, no. Collectionam was eyes.
No, there was another
Ashnupurna
word
was...
that sounded really nice.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. So Ari, just, Ari, what is Ari?
Enemies.
Enemy. And to kill, what is kill?
Sūdana.
Sūdana. How many times that Sūdana has been used in this verse?
Madhusūdana.
madhusūdana,
Two
ari-sūdana.
Ari-sūdana, Madhusūdana.
2 times, right? Ari-sūdana, madhusūdana. And who are the 2 big people who are talked about in this verse?
Bhīṣma and Droṇa.
Bhīṣma and Droṇa. Okay. Now, can you, Sulekha Mataji, just summarize without looking at it? Just summarize in gist what this verse is talking about.
I think Arjuna, when he was reprimanded by Krishna, he said, how can I kill madhusūdana? How can I kill Bhīṣma and Droṇa, who are worthy of my worship?
Worthy of my worship, right? So that is the essence. Okay, so you all got the essence of it?
No, wait, I don't understand. Why is he saying, oh, killer of enemies, oh, killer of Madhu? Who is that addressed to? Because, oh, killer of enemies, is he telling Krishna?
Yeah, that's what I talked about earlier, right? I said he's saying, look at the choice of words by which Arjuna is addressing Krishna. Arjuna uvāca. So obviously Arjuna is addressing, right? Kathaṁ bhīṣmam. Tell me how in this war can I kill Bhīṣmam and Droṇaṁ, right? And then he's saying, madhusūdana, oh Madhusūdana, the Krishna. Krishna goes by Madhusūdana, right? And ari-sūdana. So I had told him that he is contrasting, Arjuna is contrasting, and he's saying that you are the one who kills Madhu, who was a demon. Or you go and kill Ari, who are the enemies. But look here, you're asking me to kill my
Own kingsmen.
own kingsmen, yes. My own relatives. It's not the same, it's different. The result is different, right? Although process is the same, you're killing it, the result is going to be different.
So I guess he's not recognizing that in this case, Bhīṣma and Droṇa are his enemies because they're in the opposing.
Right, yeah. But the attachment is there, right? And you close your eyes, yeah, to the letter. Okay, so shall we try one more time? The last one? Okay. I don't know why.
Sorry.
Hold on. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why it's automatically changing the screen today. Okay, go ahead.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ ca madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Sutapa?
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ ca madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Sulekha-ji?
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ ca madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Meera Mataji.
Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Varshana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Sorry, somebody came, so I had to open the door. Arjuna uvāca kathaṁ bhīṣmam ahaṁ saṅkhye droṇaṁ cha madhusūdana iṣubhiḥ pratiyotsyāmi pūjārhāv ari-sūdana.
Very nice. Okay, so we are now on the top of the hour. How did it feel next time? Did you all pay attention to the meaning?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, to some extent, Mataji.
To the some extent, yes. If you pay attention to the meaning, then you relish the verse also.
Yes.
Right?
Like you see, Bhīṣma, Pitāmah, Droṇaṁ, ari-sūdana, madhusūdana.
Right. Yeah. That's how you should be contemplating on it. And after the class is over, you should go back and read it one more time on your own. Then it will stay. Repetition. If you don't repeat, what happens with knowledge that you gather, the knowledge dwindles. Like at the end of 1 week, 17% or some such percent is lost. But if you repeat it again, then it stays. So that's important. All right, so I'll take your leave now, Mataji. Those here on Zoom, as well as those watching on the Facebook, devotees, vanchakalpatarubhyascha kipasindhubhyo patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.